and check out their awesome merchandise selection of your favorite South Florida sports teams. From the Miami Dolphins, Hurricanes, Heat, Marlins, Florida Panthers, and Inter Miami, they've got it all. Celebrate your favorite team and show off your fandom with their beautiful team starter jackets, killer-looking helmets, team jerseys, cool shirts, and more. And if you're out of town or out of state, no worries. Go to caneswear.com and find everything they have on their site. Select what you want, and they will ship your gear to you. Anything over $99 is shipped for free. Don't wait. Stop at Caneswear today.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me give you a little dose of reality. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this fine Saturday afternoon here for Real Talk Rants. Today is going to be a special day for me. This is the first time I am going to be doing a full-fledged panel show, and I got my buddies from the Fins Tailgate. We got Shake Money and color commentary. So I'll be dropping the leak in a few minutes here, and hopefully you all can join us, and we will be discussing everything Dolphins. But the only thing that I ask is that everyone be respectful to each other, keep it PG-13, and everything should be just fine. So
Are you listening, Michael K?
There's Michael K. Hey, Michael K. What's up, brother? Appreciate you for joining the show today, man. And I appreciate all of you that are in the chat joining today. Appreciate that. Make sure you all hit that like button.
Yes.
And subscribe and share with your friends, your families, and your neighbors. And it's free. It's free to like. All right, man. Appreciate you, Shake Money, for joining tonight or this afternoon, not tonight. I'm used to the
night streams,
the night streams. So anyway, and I appreciate you, Color, also for joining today, brother.
And by the way, I'm gonna be at that Houston game. So
oh, you are. All right, that's great, man. We'll have to get together, man. Let me know because I plan on going to that game as well. So we'll have to get together for sure, man, for sure. But anyway, I just wanted to talk today a little bit about something. I had a show. I guess it was, I don't know, two, three episodes ago, and there was an article I was reading, and it was in the I think it was the article I read was in the Dolphins Nation, but I'm not sure. But the bottom line is, Stephen Ross, the owner of the Dolphins franchise, right? He basically sold all his global, I guess, entities or whatever, and he has he's going to be concentrating more on his own company down in the South Florida area. So he's moving down there, Palm Beach area, I guess around you, Color.
And hey, don't be surprised if you see a bunch of furniture moving next to your apartment, Color. That's Ross.
Yeah. But anyway,
he'd probably be a better neighbor than the one I got. That's for sure.
But anyway, I did want to just talk a little bit, brush on that a little bit, and get the folks in the chat. I see Cap for Life's in. Thank you, brother, for joining. 72 undefeated. Yes, sir. I was there for every single game in the Orange Bowl back then, man. Thank you for joining. But So what do you all think? What do you all think? Color, Shake, what do you think? Do you think this is going to have an impact on the Dolphins organization in any way? Is it going to be a good or bad thing?
I think it's going to be a good thing. You know
Mhm.
why? Because here's the thing. The last 20 years, right? Steve Ross it's just like a fat man who has a shoe shine. He has to take people's word for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, that's the happen. I think that was what happened between Brian Flores and Chris Greer. He say, she say, he say, she say. So now
Mhm.
he could be involved in the meetings, and now he knows, okay, who did what. He could take more accountability this way,
Yeah.
because he could see firsthand how the organization is being run versus doing briefs and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, look, the one thing I would say is, if most football owners ran their first business, to make their money to buy the football team, they want to have a football team.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. Yep. Yeah. Color, how about you, man? What's your take on that? What do you think?
I mean, I'm kind of in line with Shake on that. I think that,
Mhm.
the owner being close, even popping in a meeting or two, it'll give him a chance to really see how the coach interacts with the team. He can see, and I don't suspect he'll be chirping in the coach's ear, hey, you probably should handle the guys this way or that way. But he'll be able to evaluate for himself year over year. Hey, is this really the guy I want leading my guys? Do I like his leading style, his leadership style, that kind of thing? You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
players too. He can, it's a hop, skip, and a jump to go over to camp and watch the guys practice, here and there, and just the overall knowing that the soul of the owner is hovering around at any moment,
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
tends to get people to kind of buckle down and focus and,
Yeah.
do what you need to do.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. I think you both make good points, and I agree with you both. I think it's going to be a good thing. As you said, he can do these little spot checks, come in there, any time of the day, and check up and see what his coach, his general manager, and what his players are up to. And yeah, so I think it's going to be a good thing. Um, is it gonna be a Jerry Jones type of effect, during, is he gonna butt in? Is he gonna interfere? Is he gonna, you know,
Mm-hmm.
uh, that's the question I have. And again, not that might not necessarily be a bad thing either.
Yeah.
So, it could be a good thing. I think it's gonna be a good thing. I think that's what's needed down there in South Florida. I think the owner should be around there and checking out the scene and seeing what he's created down there with the country club
Mm-hmm.
atmosphere, in my opinion.
Yeah, but and here's the thing: if he wanted to butt in, he would have butted in years ago. He hasn't butted
Yeah,
in,
yeah,
so
yeah. That's true.
he
That's
doesn't have
true
a
too.
history of butting in. So
Yeah,
via phone call or something like that, hey, I want this. I want you to draft this guy. I want you to sign this guy. So he hasn't shown a history of butting in.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't think that will change. I like I said, I just think he's going to be there to see things firsthand and start taking better accountability of what's going on with the organization.
Right, right. Yeah, no, I agree, and that's a good thing for sure. I'm gonna try and drop this link if I can figure it out here.
So what what you go do is go to invite
Yeah, I
the
did that,
bottom,
and I
copy the
copied it.
link, and so
Mhm.
you go to where that says post a comment and just put and paste it on that comment, like you're gonna post a comment.
Okay.
See the comment section, post a
Yeah,
comment.
yeah. Got
Yeah,
it. Got
copy the
it.
link there and cheat. There you go.
All right. Well, it didn't pop up for me there. Let me try it again, guys. I'm sorry. I'm new at
It's
this.
okay.
So let me try that one more time. Copy the link.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. And I close it. And I go to post the link. It's not popping up. I don't know why. Oh, man. Let me see. I want to invite.
After you copy the link, did you paste it into the text bar?
You mean to post a link, post a comment?
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
I mean, right click in there and hit paste.
Oh, right click in there. Okay, maybe that's it.
And then hit enter or hit the little send button.
Let me try that. Do I have to close out the invite guest?
Yeah, because it's stealing focus on you at the moment.
All right. I don't have a mouse, so that's probably the reason why.
If you put the cursor in the text box, then hit Control V.
Control
as
V?
in Victor. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it. Thank you, man. You're a lifesaver, guy.
That's the keyboard shortcut for paste.
All right. The link should be sent, guys.
Copy is a little more obvious. You highlight the text and hit Control C.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah. Anybody want to join the link? Join the show? Come, just hit that link and you can pop in. I see we got Anthony Mansano coming in. Get Anthony
already.
Already, man. Anthony, how you doing, brother?
He's been bored today. He joined us for the video game talk.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, doing good, man. Doing good. So what do you think about this conversation we're having about Ross? What's your two cents?
I've said this. I don't trust Ross. I do not trust him whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I understand the fan base says I don't think he really cares about winning a Super Bowl. I think he just cares about making Hard Rock an entertainment complex for other sports instead of caring about the team. In my honest opinion.
Right. Well, and you got a point. I mean, he did say he was gonna focus on Formula One as well as the Dolphins football team.
I don't trust him about the Dolphins. I really don't. He needs to sell that portion. He needs to sell the Dolphins altogether, or give full power to his new partner, at least, and him focus on Formula One and other things when it comes to Hard Rock Stadium.
Right. Well, I think like I said, you got a good point, but I think that Shake and Color made a great point. Basically, he's never butted in before. He's an
absentee owner.
He's an absentee owner. Is that good? You don't think that's a good thing?
No. Look at what we've dealt with the past 30 years of my life as a Dolphins fan.
Right.
And I don't want the other extreme where the owner's like a Jerry Jones, where he's controlling everything, and the Cowboys haven't shown any progress, really. So I don't know what the balance is with the Dolphins.
Yeah, that's a good point. The balance. You said it. Bingo. The balance. There's got to be a balance, and if he can find that balance, and maybe he's an absentee owner, but maybe he pops in as I said earlier, in Color as well. Maybe if he pops in, he kind of keeps people on their toes. Maybe that's the boost that this organization needs. Not so much.
The perfect example of a championship team that's won with an absentee owner, kind of, are the Giants. The Mara family doesn't really control everything with the Giants and stuff like that. They pop in every once in a while, but they're not controlling day-to-day operations.
Well, an absentee owner is someone like the Minnesota Vikings. It's somebody that owns a team but don't live in the city. So Giants aren't really absentee owners. They just don't interfere, but they're there in the stadium.
Can you explain the difference to me between an
maybe hands-off owner? You might want to,
an absentee owner is pretty much someone like Ross that has a team in Miami, that has a team and doesn't live in the city that they're living in. That's pretty much an absentee.
How about the owners for the Falcons? Would you say they're absentee owners, or do they live in the city?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. The only one I know that for a fact is absentee is the Minnesota Vikings.
I think the Atlanta owner is absentee. I'm pretty sure he's like a foreign investor type.
Yeah, no, the Jaguars are the perfect. Shad Khan doesn't really, or Tony focuses more on the wrestling company that he owns than the Jaguars.
Actually, that's his son that focuses on it. But I think but
No,
he
that's
does.
what I'm
I would say he focuses more on the soccer team. Yeah, maybe the soccer team.
Yeah, I had those backwards. I was thinking of the Jags owner too, Anthony. Arthur Blank is the owner for the Falcons. I don't know where he
Arthur
resides.
cares. Arthur Blank cares about the team. It's just he's hired the wrong people. Like, so Arthur cares about winning. It's just his hiring process has been inconsistent and stuff like that. Ross doesn't care about the Dolphins, in my honest opinion. He makes when he does these interviews, Steve, to be honest, he makes the Dolphins fans think he cares about the team, but I don't think he cares. Realistically, I don't think he cares about the Dolphins. It's something that's in the back of his mind, but he doesn't focus on it. Like I said, he cares more about bringing his rich buddies to the Formula One events or these high-end concert events or high-end stuff like that. So for me, I think what's going to happen is he's going to give his whole stake to the Dolphins to his new partner, and his new partner is going to be the one focusing on the Dolphins.
Okay. All right. I tend to believe he does care. I think he does care. If he didn't care, he wouldn't be coming down to South Florida, right? And giving up his
He's
global
making the illusion that he cares.
All right.
That's
I
what I
don't
think.
think so. I don't think so. I think he cares. I think he wants a Super Bowl. He's 84 years old. You know, and I think it's going to be a good thing that he comes down. That's just my opinion and my 2 cents. So
No, the reason why I say his track record the past few years is why I don't think any of him saying all this is just bluster to make the fans think he cares. Is Steve that like his track record the past 30 years for me has proven that he really doesn't care about the Dolphins.
Right. Okay. All right. Fair enough. So let me ask you this. This is going to be a question for folks in the chat right now, and also for folks on the panel. Do you think that Stephen Ross at this point you think he might be the holdup in the Tua contract? I know I went there.
No,
you don't.
I do.
He wants to be the face of this franchise because, like I said, he doesn't care about winning. He cares about entertainment rather than actual results on the field. That's why he wants to sign Tua to this major deal.
I don't know how. I disagree because I mean, if you look at where most of his support recently has come from, it's been the coach and the GM, and I don't think Chris Greer cares about the money.
Yeah,
I mean, isn't everybody saying that even locking him up with a big bag would be better for us financially with our salary cap and all that? So
I disagree with that.
I think Chris Greer wants Tua, and the deal would have been signed. The only person he has to get approval from to make something happen is Stephen Ross.
Exactly. And if you remember, if you all remember, there was a conversation or interview. I saw an excerpt of a clip where Ross was standing up right before, right after they fired, I believe it was Flores, right? And he stood up there and said that it was going to be up to the coach to decide whether or not, right, if Tua is going to be the man, if he's going to be the guy or not. So apparently, Chris Greer, in my opinion, Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel come to an agreement, and they said, yeah, he's the guy. I can work with him, right? Because we all remember Mike McDaniel went over 700 pieces of film, right, with Tua Tagovailoa. So,
yeah, I don't believe that.
Okay.
Yeah, no. With
real quick, Tony, real quick. The quarterback has the choice, and the coach has the choice of what quarterback he wants. That reminded me of when my wife tells me, "You pick the place to eat tonight, honey."
Yeah.
Right. right.
When you're
Right.
married, your wife is the one choosing.
You pick the drape shake. But again, it boils down to where the money is at. I mean, I don't if we're all convinced that Greer is happy and wants to move forward with Tua, and Tua doesn't want to sign what Chris Greer offered, Chris Greer has to offer more money, and that authorization has to come from money bags.
Absolutely, and that's Mr. Ross. That's Mr. Ross.
No, and for me, I think Greer is looking.
So you think Greer is off of Tua is basically in a nutshell?
Yeah, no. I don't think Greer's off of Tua, but he's looking at what other teams like.
What does he care?
No, I'm
not his
talking
money.
about the money. No, I'm talking about the money. He's looking at what other young quarterbacks have gotten, and it seems like some of these teams are like he's maybe looking at that, and maybe he's thinking Tua's not worth the $50 million that Herbert is getting, or Herb.
Why would he care?
Or Burrow. Why would he care? Maybe because people say he's a financial genius. Maybe he cares more about the cap, and so maybe at the max, like I said, he wants to give him. Tua thinks he's worth $55 million, but Greer thinks he's worth a Daniel Jones contract.
Thanks for joining, Pete.
I understand that Chris Greer thinks that, but he wants Tua.
No, he wants Tua, but at his price, not Tua's price.
Again, it's not his money. If Ross was sold on Tua, Ross would be calling up Chris Greer asking him what the holdup is. I've got a blank check for you. What's the holdup?
No, and I think his partner is the one whispering in Ross's ear saying, let's not sign this kid to a major deal.
Okay, that's fine. But that's still coming from Ross. Doesn't matter who convinced Ross. It's still coming from Ross.
So you think, so I agree with you. It's Ross that's the holdup, and I think maybe he thinks he made the wrong choice in drafting the wrong quarterback.
Or he has a certain value set in his head that he's not willing to go. Remember, this is his toy, the team, I mean.
Yeah.
So this is no different than if somebody's quoting you for an oil change for your race car, like.
I'm surprised
or
Pete's
trying to
agreeing
sell
with
you
me.
on a new fuel or something, or you want to know what you want to get to see the value in that. It's not the guy running your car crew that cares about the money. It's the guy that owns the car.
Yeah, and to me, I think what's happening too is that's why I'm saying Stephen Ross is looking at that some of these teams maybe are regretting paying their young quarterbacks too soon. And
right. That may be the case, but again, that's Ross thinking that is what you said, right?
Yeah.
Right. So I think we've roundabout come to an agreement.
Yeah. No. It took me a while because I always assumed it was Greer hesitating, not Ross. In my honest opinion,
well, because you could say it's Greer on behalf of Ross at this point, but if it was Greer's personal decision, I think the deal would be done because the money would be authorized. Bryson.
Yeah, no, and to me, I think what's happening too is maybe, and I've said this, and people don't want to hear it, Steve. I think, like, the players around Tua are elevating him. It's not the other way around. Tua's not elevating anybody. It's the talent around him that is protecting him and elevating him at the same time because he has serious limitations. And that's the hesitation too, is there's limitation. And honestly, I think it was coach speak for McDaniel. I think McDaniel was forced to keep Tua he wanted to draft his own quarterback. I don't think McDaniel really. I think he just said that to prop up Tua's confidence, but I don't think he really wanted Tua. I think he just said that to prop up Tua because Greer wanted him.
Hey, I think we need Pete's takes in here. Pete, come and join, man. I just dropped the link. Like to hear your take on this.
So, Color, do you agree with me to a certain extent? That McDaniel maybe just said that to prop up Tua's confidence, and he really, as a coach, that's what he's supposed to do: make the player confident. But
well, he's not supposed to ruin their confidence. That's for sure.
No. But what I'm saying, in the back of his mind, maybe he wanted his own quarterback, but he was forced because of Greer.
Well, I couldn't guess. I really couldn't. I mean, Mike McDaniel is a student of the West Coast. He literally doesn't care who's playing quarterback.
Exactly.
Listen, here's the thing. Right. I'm sorry.
No, go
ahead. Here's the thing.
Bro.
This is what I disagree with you, Anthony. Mike McDaniel had a cushy job in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And he knew if he was to come to Miami, the quarterback he hitched his wagon to had to be a good one. So at the end of the day, if he saw Tua and said, okay, I could win with this guy, just give me this offense, there had to be some level of confidence. You know, he wasn't forced to take the job. He took the job on his own will. So at the end of the day, he could have stayed in San Francisco and said, you know what? I'll wait for another opportunity, like the Chargers or something else like that. So I think it wasn't. I'm
not saying he was forced on him. No, I'm saying no. I wasn't saying he was forced to take the job. I'm saying he.
No, I'm not saying he was. No, of course. If of course he's not forced to take the job, but at the same time he wasn't forced to take Tua either, because at the end of the day, he knew the terms and the conditions. So let's say, for instance, if I tell you take this Uber, but you got to take a kick in the nuts, you're not going to take the Uber ride. So he knew the terms and conditions of taking the job.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. And can you, all three of you, I've heard this like asinine line of thinking from fans, like pundits and our own certain parts of our fan base saying Tua's the only quarterback smart enough to run this system. Like, where does that come from?
I ignore people when they say that, Anthony, to be honest with you. I've completely put it out of my mind and ignore it now. It's a complete fallacy.
How about you, Steve? You're like that too?
Yeah. That just doesn't make any sense at all.
I mean, maybe the way Mike McDaniel wants to run it, yeah, but beyond that, no.
Yeah, no, because I've always said this, McDaniel. I think this offense would run way better with a guy like a Herbert, who's more athletic and is able to throw
Unfortunately, there's no guy like Herbert around.
No, I'm not saying it has to be Herbert. I'm saying that type of a mobile quarterback with a stronger arm. To be honest, that and. The reason why I'm saying this is Shanahan recently said, and we were on a panel when I said this together, Color, that he wasn't targeting his own quarterback, but he's saying with a quarterback in general that has physical limitations, I'm only able to open up a portion like 55% of my playbook because I know my quarterback that type of quarterback doesn't have the limited physical attributes to throw 55 to 60-yard passes down the field because his arm is not there. He wasn't targeting his own quarterback, but he was saying that type of quarterback has limitations on what he can do in his own playbook. He wasn't targeting Brock Purdy or Tua. He's just saying that specific style quarterback, the physical limitations prevents them from opening up their full playbook, is what he was saying. He wasn't targeting his own quarterback.
Good afternoon, fellas. What's going on, Anthony?
Hey,
laughing, bro. Anthony is a star of the show.
Thanks for
But,
joining, brother. Appreciate it.
no problem, guys. I did want to talk about what Anthony's saying when it comes to Tua and the limitations. Can we be fair? I mean, any play
We can. You can't.
call that Mike McDaniel calls for Tua is going to be an effective play. I don't think what people realize when it comes to Tua's limitations. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
We hear you. Loud and clear.
Thank God, I just ignored that phone call. Perfect. Yeah, with Tua's limitations, I think Tua's limitations, Anthony, what you need to realize is him working off script. Because any play that Mike McDaniel calls is going to be a good call. First read, if he's asking Tua to go to the second read, yeah, it's going to be a good play call. But when it's not a good call, when Mike McDaniel's bozo head calls something that's not good and it's not effective, and we need the quarterback to make something out of nothing, that's where Tua has failed tremendously year after year after year after year. Every good that Tua has done, I don't want to take it away from Tua. Yes, he's the one that threw the ball, but a lot of the credit has to go to Mike McDaniel and the offensive scheme that he put around him. And then you have to look at the flaws that had happened under Mike McDaniels, and you realize McDaniel just needs a tad bit more help. He just needs a little bit more help at the quarterback position. And that's why that's why there's contracts are being stalled. That's why player Tua has to prove himself a little more, Anthony. It's not because he has the weak arm and he can't throw it 60 yards. He could throw it 60 yards if the play call is correct. That's just the reality of it, Anthony. And you know what? I want to get back on Anthony real quick when he was talking about the owner stuff. You got to be out of your mind, Anthony. If the owner, Stephen Ross, wanted Tua paid, that guy would have had a contract last year. Remember, owners don't have to listen to anybody. Owners just want to do what they feel is right, and they have the money for it. They will do it, Anthony. The reason why Tua is not paid is, in fact, the opposite of what you were saying. It's because Stephen Ross doesn't want to pay Tua just yet. It doesn't matter how many people in the building want Tua paid. At the end of the day, it's the owner's decision on what he feels is right for his business. And that's why Tua is not paid, because of the boss, Stephen Ross.
No, that me and Color came around to the same conclusion that it's Ross, not originally. I thought in my head, I thought it was Greer that was preventing this contract from happening, but me and Color came to the same conclusion. It's Ross and his partner that are second guessing giving Tua that big money and stuff like that.
No, you're right. That's true. What's up, fellas? Season is here. You guys saw the pup list already? Were you expecting that, Steve?
I was expecting Bradley Chubb and I was expecting Jalen Phillips to be on the pub. I know a lot of folks have been, you've seen the hype videos on X and all that stuff of Jalen Phillips doing his sprinting and all that stuff. It's a whole different ball game when you're playing against, playing in a game, right? Just straight line sprinting, it's a whole different ball game when you're in a game. So yeah, I expected that on Bradley Chubb. Now, what I didn't expect was Taj Washington, the rookie that we just drafted. I didn't expect him to be on PUP. I didn't know anything about Ahmed. Yeah, Ahmed. I didn't know anything about him. So that was a surprise, which, I don't think he's going to make the cut this year anyway. As far as Isaiah Wynn, that's another one that was surprising, although I know he was hurt last year and everything. But man, I thought he'd be healed by now. So yeah, I'm surprised for those three guys, or those two guys, or three guys. But the other two, no, I wasn't
not so
surprised.
much on Chubb and Phillips. I'm actually I'm on with you a tad bit when it comes to Bradley Chubb, but I mean, I've been dying on this hill the whole offseason. I just felt like Jalen Phillips was going to be ready week one. I had no doubt. Yeah, the whole time. Yeah, I've been saying it. Look at this guy.
He's younger.
Look at him. He's healing and he's looking good. They've been throwing videos at us of him running and everything, and it's like you're building my confidence that he is going to be there week one.
Well, that's not just press. Like that. Pete, this is an honest question. In the back of your mind, don't you sometimes the Dolphins have had a horrible track record of making fans think a player's like releasing tape like that, making the fan base think that the players.
Yeah, I know
healthy.
exactly where you're going to, Anthony, and you're spot on that. And you know what? You could be right on that because in years prior, Anthony, they have drug it all on almost near when the season started. That's when they finally put the player on pup. Like they made us believe these players were going to be there the whole off season until the season got there. And I'm trying to think of some names. I could give you some examples right now, but it's just hard to come up with.
As a matter of fact, McDaniel's first year, Byron Jones, everybody thought Byron Jones was going to be
there you go.
ready week 1.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Xavier is another one.
Name, Shake.
But
he did say Byron Jones will be ready week 1, Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, but to get back to your point, Pete, on the Jalen Phillips being ready, for the first game of the season. Now, that's not too far-fetched to say he can't or he won't, because just because he's on the pub doesn't mean that he's out for 3 or 4 games. What that means is he can have one practice and the regular season starts and he can be the starter. So by putting him on PUP doesn't mean that's going to prevent him from playing the season. Now, what the catch is before the season starts, yes, then they're going to have to make a decision. Are they going to put him on injured reserve or not? That's the question.
And Bryson, that's where I disagree with you just a little bit. Not every offense is tailored to the quarterback, because I'm going to use Aaron Rodgers, a young Aaron Rodgers, when they didn't really tailor they didn't really fully tailor he had such elite talent that the system didn't matter. They didn't really tailor the scheme around him and stuff like that. And Patrick Mahomes plays playground football. Let's be honest. Andy Reid is just letting him do what he wants. I don't think he's tailoring a system around Patrick Mahomes, really. I think he just lets Patrick do whatever he wants, in my honest opinion. There's not really a system. It seems like there's a system in Kansas City, but I think Andy Reid's letting Patrick do whatever he wants. It's playground football, dirt lot football. Do you guys agree, or am I being harsh on Andy?
I don't agree at all.
I don't agree at all. There's a system in place. Trust me. The only thing is the reason why it looks like he's playing playground football is because he's good at going off script. Yep. See, I made this point a few episodes ago on my show here. Patrick Mahomes isn't really a good processor. He doesn't process the field that well from the snap, right? But what he does do well is if that first read or even second read breaks down, he knows how to go off script and create. Then that's where the sandlot football comes into play. At least that's what I've observed, and that's my opinion. Do you all agree or disagree?
No. For me, when I looked at Patrick, I've always assumed he was a great processor. To me, I thought it just seemed like I've always assumed Patrick was able to read the whole field.
He is able to read the whole field when he goes off script and creates. He's better at it at that.
But not a structure.
Right, exactly. Good point. Yeah, exactly. You hit the nail on the head. He can go, because if you notice when he's off script and he's creating, what is he doing? He's running, and where's his head? It's up, looking downfield, right? And not only that, but Travis Kelce and his receivers know, they play with him enough now where they know what he's going to do. So what are they going to do? They're going to try to find that little hole or that little area where they can get open, and he can get the ball, and he can get the ball to him because he's got the arm, right? He's got the arm to do it. Where Tua, I hate to bring Tua up, but I'm going to. Tua, when he tries to go off script, at times he does, right? He'll try to go off script. His head is down in the ground. He's not even looking, or he's looking at one spot, right? And then he's gonna, if he can't get it to, he can't get it to you, he's going to go down, or he's going to try to run, or he's going to throw it. He's going to underthrow it, or he's going to overthrow it, or something. You know,
I've heard people describe, like, can you guys explain to me what, like, the difference? I've heard people describe Tua as a great defender. He has a great ability of reading defenders, not the defense, the whole defense. Are they the same thing, or are they two separate things?
I'll answer this, and then you guys can go on from there. I'll tell you this. I think that Mike McDaniel has given Tua options. And when he goes back, the play is already predetermined. He goes back to pass, and he's looking for those two options. If this cornerback or this linebacker moves here, I've got to go to this side. If this cornerback or this linebacker moves here, I'm going to the other side. That's what I think he's done. I don't think he's reading the defenders, but more of, I don't know how to explain it. That's the best way I can explain it. He's giving them options, basically. Any of you guys want to, piggyback on that?
Repeat the question again, Anthony.
They describe Tua as a great reader of defenders, but not a great reader of defenses. And is there a difference between reading a defender and reading the defense as a whole?
Well, when you're reading the defense, you're reading the defense entirely. You got to look at the field. If you're reading a defender, you're just trying to pick on a defender. So I don't know what you mean by that, Anthony. Honestly, if Tyreek Hill
reading a defender is you're trying to find a soft spot in the defense,
and reading the defense is more likely going to be done before the snap of the ball, whereas reading a defender is going to be more while the play is going on.
Anthony, you can read a defender, which is one player, and you can look at the safety dropping in the box, and Tua could say, hey, let's go ahead and switch it up and switch the play. You see what I'm saying? If you're just reading one defender, you're basing it off what you feel you can do according to what that defender is showing you. If you see a defender, like you're questioning the question you're asking, trying to jam up Tua with no high safety, you're going to expect Tua to throw a deep bomb, right?
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
What he's talking about, Anthony, is like being able to look at the defender and determine where the best place to throw the ball to is to give your receiver the best chance and to give the defender the worst chance of getting to that ball.
Hey, let me ask you this.
Like determining whether this needs to be a back shoulder throw or whether it needs to be, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff. You're reading the defender when you're making your throw.
That's your job as a quarterback.
Yeah, for sure. This is a good point by California. He said, I want a quarterback that can drop back 5 steps and read the field and throw the ball soon as it touches his hands. No one can convince me a quarterback can read the field under 2 seconds. And the reason, let me answer this real quick. And the reason why Tua gets the ball out quick, not saying that's not a superpower of his. He does get the ball out and it has a very quick release. I get that. But I think the reason why that the system is designed in that respect for Tua to get the ball out that quick, and I think Mike McDaniel is great. Genius.
Offensive line.
No, the offensive line too, but more so the wide receivers are freaking super fast. And Tua doesn't have the arm. He has the arm strength to get it 40, 50 yards. That's bullshit, and everybody says he can't. Okay? Excuse me for cursing. But the thing is, the question is, he doesn't have the velocity. So when he gets that ball, he can get it out there. It's a question of how fast does it get there. And the reason why they throw it in 2.4 seconds in the first read, I think, okay, because if he lets that ball go more than 2.7 or 2.8 seconds, say at 3 seconds, right?
Right.
Tyreek and Waddle will be too far down the freaking field for him to get the ball to him.
Or here's the other thing. The defender breaking on the ball. And if there's a lack of velocity and you're a half second later in your throw, then the velocity, in other words, let me do it the other way around, the way we actually do it.
Right.
If your velocity is going to be, a tad slower, then in getting the ball out a half second earlier will mean that the ball has a better chance of getting to the hands of the receiver before that defender finishes his break and intercepts it.
You're spot on, Color.
Yeah,
It's
no,
So
more-
if you
it.
go to
this,
if
this
you go
game
to
is more about
2.5 seconds
reaction.
or 3 seconds, you've got to have that much stronger velocity to make sure that the defender can't break on the ball.
You articulated that to the T.
Yeah,
That is
no,
actually
and Color,
yep.
I've always said this with Tua specifically. He's great reading the defense pre-snap, but once once he gets
Well, I can
once
get-
the ball is hiked, he can't read it post-snap for some
I
reason.
can give you an illustration in a particular play of what I'm actually trying to say. For those that are that didn't quite grab it, that Waddle touchdown where he split the defenders. If that ball is even a half second slower, Waddle's getting sandwiched between two defenders. And you see a lot of his throws where it hits the receiver's hands out in front, and that defender was like a half second too late, and Tyreek's to the house, or the ball's complete, and it's like, whoa, how did he complete that ball? And it's because he cheated. It's like he got to start from the finish line a half second or from the starting line a half second earlier than his opponent that he's racing against.
Yeah. Hey, you know what's funny is I used to truly believe that when Tua
backstage.
What's that?
Crypto's backstage.
Oh, okay, brother. Thank you. What I think is funny is I used to believe that there was actually a play design where Tyreek Hill would go out, on a route 35 yards, something like that, and then he would come back and get the ball, right? I used to really believe that. But then the more and more I've watched film, all 22, and I observed it more, I was like, no, that's not a design play. It's Tyreek is making something out of nothing. That ball was underthrown. He's coming back for the ball.
Go look at the Washington Commanders touchdown.
Which happened a lot with Patrick Mahomes and him too. Sorry, Pete. Didn't mean
yeah, because of his speed. Yeah.
No, and for guys like Tyreek and Waddle, is it hard for a quarterback to determine when the perfect time to throw it is because how fast they are?
No, that's actually the easiest thing to do. You know your receiver. You're going to know if he's going to beat that corner, so you're just going to see it in live action, right?
No, to determine when not to underthrow it. Like for Tua specific, you said Patrick Mahomes had that issue too, determining on when is the perfect time to either throw it ahead of Tyreek or not to underthrow it. Steve,
well,
right?
when you're dealing with a receiver as fast as Tyreek or as fast as Waddle, you got to have a pretty strong arm to outthrow them.
Yeah.
So with those two guys, when you're on a 9,
Patrick Mahomes,
when you're on a 9 or a post, all they have to do is have one. If you sense that they're going to gain one step on that defender, you just sling it as hard as you can, and they'll catch up to it.
So in essence, in order for a quarterback needs to have an elite type of gunslinger type of arm, like a Brett Favre or
no, I'm just saying that Tyreek Hill is so fast. I'm hard pressed to think of a quarterback that could outthrow him. Unless he just threw it way early. You know what I mean?
No, that's what I'm saying. Right. Honestly, a Dan Marino would do well with because how hard Dan Marino throws his balls or how far he can throw it. I think Dan
Marino would have just taken a nice long stride 7-step drop, and Tyreek Hill's behind every defender, and then even Dan Marino could probably just close his eyes and chuck it as hard as he can.
Patrick Mahomes
still catch up to it.
Listen, I'm really starting to see that the world just goes with what people will.
Hey, what's going on, Steve?
Hey, who is this? Is this
sounds like crypto? But this, but give me a second, crypto.
Yeah,
you're kind of crackling, brother.
Yeah, he is kind of crackling too.
All right.
Give me a second, crypto. This whole Patrick Mahomes, and I want you guys to hear me out clearly because I'm not saying the guy is bad, but if you hear what I'm trying to tell you, maybe you guys will understand why I don't have him as the best quarterback in the NFL like most people do. And it might sound crazy. I understand. He has the rings. We've saw special plays. But when you look at Patrick Mahomes play the quarterback position and you go watch his highlights, they're beautiful. But Patrick Mahomes is not even near a Dan Marino. And what I mean by this is Patrick Mahomes does not take aggressive passes. He's not forcing passes into double coverage, slicing them and dicing them in there like most quarterbacks do.
Correct.
What Patrick Mahomes does, which is still flawless and is wonderful, is he buys time and he just sits back there until he actually finds the open guy.
Right.
He's just sitting there waiting for the guy to be wide open. But he's not an aggressive. Yeah, he could do all of that. I mean, like
when I mean
he's
off
conservative.
Platform, I mean like
he's
falling
conservative.
away.
There you go, Anthony. That's what I don't like.
I mean?
That's what he hit it on the head. Anthony just hit it nail on the head right there. I promise you. Patrick Mahomes, what I don't like about him, despite that he's the greatest in everybody else's eyes, to me, when I watch him play, and I've watched him a lot, he's just a conservative passer. And that could be a good thing.
Right.
That's why the way he is. But when I'm watching these other quarterbacks, you see CJ Stroud, he was a rookie last year. There was nothing conservative about his passes. He was down there making big man decisions most of the time. It wasn't like Patrick Mahomes. You see, a lot of people give credit to Patrick Mahomes, and it's deserving. But at the same time, when you're ranking him and you're looking at these guys as a pure quarterback, you want the best of the best. You want the quarterback that can identify what an aggressive throw.
Yeah, that's right. People acting like Patrick Mahomes is some kind of Skylar Thompson or something like that.
There you go.
Well, let's be fair. Hey, let's be fair though. Patrick Mahomes can sit back there for 3 or 4 or 5 seconds, right? He's got a good O-line.
I mean, him and Skylar did play ball near Kansas City.
Yeah, that's true.
See, and to me,
I think Zach Wilson is a better quarterback than all of them. It's neither here nor there.
Hilarious.
Crypto's in a mood.
All right.
What's up, Crypto?
The greatest improviser of all time is Michael Vick. He's a perfect example of the greatest improviser I've ever seen play in football is Michael Vick. Do you guys agree? Michael's the greatest improviser over
throwing the ball.
No, not.
I'm gonna give that to Patrick Mahomes as much as I really don't like Mahomes.
Yeah,
I'm
for
gonna
sure.
give that to Mahomes.
For sure. Hey, let's let Crypto get a few words in here. He just come on in. So, Crypto, what do you got to say about all this that's going on? Are you there?
No, I'm just getting online.
Oh, okay.
I haven't heard any latest news, but as far as what's going on this weekend with the team.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm just sitting back listening, Steve. Just trying to see what it is. All the new deadlines, the new goalposts moving, and all the other stuff. It's just it's kind of like deja vu, you know.
For sure.
That's the way it is.
Yeah.
So what's going to be the new talking points coming out of training camp? You know, when it comes to contracts and players signing and all this other stuff.
Yeah, that's true. You think Tua's going to get signed before training camp starts or after, or you think he's going to hold out? What do you think?
I'm at the point now that it's the 11th hour with like 5 minutes till midnight type of deal. I think it stays at that point.
Really?
I think now I'm starting to believe that it's going to remain 5 minutes to midnight.
And Crypto, remember now, we also know it's probably not going to be bad news up or down because in other words, if the contract is going to happen, the majority of the fan base is going to like the deal if it's going to happen.
Crypto, what did you mean?
If that wasn't the case, the news would have came out yesterday.
So Crypto, what did you mean about the 5-minute rule? What are you talking about? You mean that he's gonna get paid?
No, meaning that it's not midnight. Meaning I'm talking about in reference to the doomsday clock. Where if it strike midnight, it's a nuclear holocaust. You know, if it does strike midnight.
In other words, all the Tuaneers are going to explode.
Right? Is that Monday night at midnight? Like Tuesday morning midnight? What are we talking here?
That's what I'm trying to find out. When is the deadline?
Yeah, I want to be prepared for this.
I'm gonna say Monday night midnight, Tuesday morning.
All right, good. I'm gonna stop. When is it?
Oh,
Tuesday morning.
That'd be a good insomnia. You thinking of an insomnia episode, Shake?
Yeah, no, because I'm gonna load up on ammo and hide myself in a shed.
Bunker down.
Yeah,
Bunker
Shake,
down.
bunker down. Yeah, bunker down, Pete. Oh yeah, we got to. Where you know? Remember? What Steve knows back in the day when we used to have those fallout drills. They used to teach
Oh
us
yeah. Yeah.
the duck and cover in the schools.
Yeah.
We used to have the drills and stuff. You had to go in the corner and stuff and
Yeah.
cover your head and do all that stuff.
My
Yeah.
question is, would it done any good? You know what
I know it wouldn't have. Actually, it wouldn't. When you look back on it, you're like, holy cow! You mean to tell me to get in a fetal position just to be
Yeah.
vaporized? I
Yeah,
mean, come on.
exactly.
Like, what the hell? What were they teaching us?
False security again. That's what they were teaching.
Yeah,
False security.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I suppose if it was far enough away, the bomber was far enough away. If you do survive, that position may protect your organs or whatever. But then
Yeah.
again, your flesh will be falling off by about another hour later.
Yeah,
So
exactly,
what difference
exactly.
does it make? So
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, listen. If there would have been a doomsday, attack while I was in school, they would have saw my ashes, giving the teacher the middle finger.
yeah, I used to Shake talking about that photo flash when it flashes on the shadow, the permanent shadow of you sticking your finger up.
I went to school in South Florida, and I don't remember ever having those drills. I wonder if it's because we got a couple plants here, and we're kind of a hard target. So, like, I don't think they bothered teaching us because we're going to be ground zero, and we're all going to be vaporized instantly anyway.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I mean, maybe
Probably.
you being down further south, but I didn't remember having any of those drills, man. We did tornado drills.
Yeah,
but
we did them definitely up north. It was like
Wow.
crazy.
That's because y'all have a chance. Florida is one of
Yeah.
the places I'm sure that is targeted. So, like,
Mhm.
we're going to be gone anyway. They don't bother teaching the kids in Florida.
Right. It's like you guys are going to be in the ocean. You done.
Right. And we got a lot of we got like nuclear plants. We got a few bases. Like, this is definitely a hard target.
Yep.
We got to prepare for the Tua blast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's more scary. That's scarier, I think.
CB83 is in the house. I'm
Tua
gonna go ahead and send that link again. So if anybody is in the chat that wants to join, and I do appreciate you all joining me today.
What up, Crypto?
Make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and then share with your friends, your families, and your neighbors. So thanks again. I'm gonna go ahead and hit that. I'm gonna hit the link and send it down into the chat. Go ahead, guys. Don't mind me.
What up, Crypto?
You going to the training camp this week?
I don't know if I'm gonna go to the training camp for sure. I don't
Or
know
the
if I'm gonna
preseason
go,
game?
but the preseason, yeah. And I'm actually loving these preseasons this year because of all the Tua hold in, and that's just making me want to go to the preseason a little bit more. You see, I think these guys are gonna want to battle. I think these guys are gonna want to prove something because I get it. All the players are out there saying pay Tua, but to me, that's all nice PR talk, right? In reality, a lot of these players know that not paying Tua helps their case to get paid. For example, Miami decides not to pay Tua. Now Javon Holland might feel a little bit safer to end his career here with a deal. Jalen Phillips. A lot of these guys know that if Tua gets paid this big deal, a lot of the rest of the locker room, they're going to be like, man, where am I going to go at next? Because there is no big deal for me here. It's going to be, and I feel like the players this preseason, they're going to go out of their way to make it a case, despite what they say, because I could say a lot of nice things and not really mean it that way, But at the same time, I think they're going to try to prove a point to win without Tua. And I honestly believe that. I truly believe they're going to try to make a case when Skyler's out there or Mike White. They will make a case. And the case that has a lot of determination into this, honestly, the guy that's the most pivotal is Mike McDaniel. If Mike McDaniel wants to be recognized as one of the best head coaches in this league and he wants to get an extension, he's going to have to prove that he can win without Tua. He's going to have to prove that. And I think that he's looking forward with that because the moment he does prove he can win without Tua, there goes his big extension as a coach. So
Hmm.
I'm in that belief right now.
You think it's
Preseason is going to be an
possible that they've
open
been
battle.
using Tua as a test, as like their coach's starter quarterback, just to make? And it's like, yeah, now let's try the second guy. See how you do with this second guy. You know what I mean? What a waste of Tua's time if that's what they're doing, man. You know what I mean?
I think they got their full evaluation on Tua. You know, sometimes it takes long to get a full evaluation. I think based on what the organization has shown us, you know, they're in a position where they don't seem like they need to pay this quarterback. And I'm glad that I feel this way now about my team, because not too long ago I wasn't feeling this way.
Hey, you see that comment down there, Pete?
Which
By
one's that one?
CB80 by CB83.
Skyler's gonna get a lot of time. You see,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Why
So
don't
he
you
agrees with you.
That's what I
As
love.
little as you
Skyler's
get to
getting a
see
lot
your
of
hero
time.
play.
Yeah,
And
Pete's gonna have fun this offseason.
Heck yeah, man.
Of course, the preseason, I'm going all of them. And check this out. You don't think the organization knew this? Like, people must think, oh, the Dolphins are blindsided by Tua holding in. The organization knew that was going to be the case. They knew, and if they wanted this not to be a big story, they would have ended it by paying if they actually believed Tua. But guess what they did? They went down this optic. They went down this road. Why? Because they also used the draft pick on a guy like Skylar Thompson. They also paid millions of bucks to a backup like Mike White, that they could come in and they, in private practices, because not every practice is open to the world. There's private practices that only coaches and general managers see. And in those practices, they're concluding their own evaluation. They're putting Tua in game live situations. Hey, 2-minute drill. Hey, red zone, goal line. How is he looking in those predicaments in private practices compared to Skyler and Mike White?
Yeah, Skyler is going to have a lot of time on the sideline working on his LinkedIn account.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Shay, you mean to tell me that
Tua's going to have
it's going to be like the Florida Gators quarterback?
Yeah, Skyler Thompson's going to be working on LinkedIn.
Hours, Steve. That's what happens. It becomes hours.
You started it, so I might as well join you. Because you're comedic gold.
Here's the thing.
You're comedic gold, Peter. Pete, you're comedic gold.
Hey, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. You know, you think one of those quarterbacks, does anybody believe that either Mike White or Skylar Thompson are on the bubble this year?
All I know is Peter's in his feelings. Go ahead, Pete.
Actually, no, Steve. Honestly, I say this with everything. I truly mean it. I think Skylar Thompson is the safest quarterback on the roster. You hear me?
Well, no, I hear you. We got you loud and clear. I don't know, comedy. Man. I don't know. I think it's politics involved. I think Mike White. Unfortunately, don't get me wrong, I like Skylar Thompson. I thought he had a more upside than Mike White. I really do. Is he a starter material right now? I don't think so. But I do believe that Skylar might be on the bubble this year. Maybe he gets traded. Maybe they cut him.
That's what look, Steve. Let me tell you something. That's what the optics are making you lead to believe. I'm telling you right now, listen to me. Skylar Thompson is the safest quarterback on the roster. Skylar Thompson is actually quarterback number 2.
Don't believe your eyes, believe people.
But check this out, Steve. Think this out so people could understand something and hear me out. Was there another third emergency quarterback in the NFL that was paid higher than $1.5 million? Anywhere across the league on all 32.
Was there
paid any more than $1.5 million for the year?
As a backup?
As a third string emergency quarterback, which is the first year. That was the first year with the NFL, a newly transitioned rule. So imagine Chris Greer and the Miami Dolphins, right? Check this out. Having the third emergency quarterback at $4.5 million and your backup, your 7th rounder. How does those optics look when you're paying a player that doesn't dress? He's the emergency and you're paying him $4.5 million. How would that optic look?
Yeah.
You see my point?
It doesn't matter.
Skylar Thompson, and most of the fans' eyes, and based on the film they've seen, Everyone knows Skylar Thompson is a better player.
Listen, colleges don't listen. Teams don't go off of optics.
They want to make fun of Skylar, right? He's the emergency. Well, Skylar's the emergency because we needed to, right? Not because of Skylar, but because of Tua. We had to go out and pay Mike White. Because if Tua didn't have those injury concerns, Steve, guess what would have happened? Skylar would have been number 2. We would have never had to pay Mike White $4.5 million, and we could have allocated that money on the offensive line on different positions.
Well, I did.
Here's the point is,
go ahead.
Seattle, they had when they started Russell, he was a 3rd round pick, the guy they gave a new contract to. They didn't let optics stand in the way. The better player played. So at the end of the day, these teams don't care about the optics.
Right?
Pete, let me finish, bro. I didn't interrupt you not once.
You're bringing up bad optics.
I didn't interrupt your comedy hour not one time.
The NFL.
Listen, anyway, listen, Pete.
Pete,
bring something.
Now you need to relax. I could bring out the Dak Prescott. That's Tony Romo was making more money than Dak Prescott. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter about optics. The teams don't care about what salary you're making. All they care about is which player is making better decisions and looks better on game day. At the end of the day, Mike White looked better than Skylar Thompson. It had nothing to do with optics.
Oh, Mike White looked better than Skylar Thompson on the Carolina Panthers pick 6. Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, guess what? Okay. Skylar Thompson would have probably thrown through two picks, 6s.
Oh, no. We never saw Skylar throw a pick 6 like that.
Well, because we never saw Skylar Thompson play because he was trash.
And we're gonna listen to someone that was telling us Tua is a guy.
You could be in your feelings. You're in your feelings, bro. You're in your feelings. You're in your feelings. You're in your feelings, Pete.
Hey, Steve, I can't make people understand. You understand? School has three grades.
You're in your
high school.
You're in your feelings, Pete. 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 You're in your feelings. Sorry, feelings. You're in your Pete. You're in your feelings.
$5 million.
Get out your feelings.
And how bad that would look.
Get out your feelings, Pete.
And a laughing stock. Imagine what the NFL networks would have been saying, Steve. Imagine what all these other shows would have been saying about why are the Dolphins paying Mike White $4.5 million as a 3rd emergency quarterback when they need a running back. All their running backs are hurt. All is hurt. That's not emergency quarterback. But
hey, what running back we don't get, Pete?
That will tell you.
Yeah, what script are you using? Oh my god.
Guys don't know anything.
Yeah. This is the same guy who has imaginary conversations between him and Ross, between Dan Marino. Dan Marino and listen, Pete. In Pete's head, Dan Marino has conversations with Stephen Ross about Skylar Thompson. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know. Yeah, exactly. You're in your feelings, Pete. Get out your feelings. You Skywalkers are in your feelings. You're in your feelings. You're in your feelings, bro. Relax.
To sugarcoat anything.
Yeah, you're in your feelings, Pete. I understand. Listen. Listen. Somebody give Pete a hug. Somebody give Pete a hug. Pete needs a hug. Somebody needs to give him a hug real quick.
Hey. Okay. All right.
It speaks for itself.
Yeah.
All right,
Hey, Pete. Is Skylar gonna start game 1, week 1 this season?
He's not even going to get dressed week.
Fan base, we all better hope he does.
Yeah, he's not even going to get dressed week 1. He's going to be in his regular clothes.
We all better hope he does.
He's going to be on the sideline with his clothes.
You got guys like Shake that'll be out here pay Tua. And he sees Tua can't even complete screen passes in the playoff game.
And you can't even see Skylar Thompson get dressed on the regular season. Because of politics. Yes, I understand. Yes, I understand, Pete. Where's the steamroller? Where's the steamroller? I need a steamroller.
So you guys haven't answered my question. Hey, Pete, hold it down. Hold it down. Jake, Pete, hold it down.
Oh, give me a second.
Pete is in his feelings. You're in your feelings, Pete. You're in your feelings. I'm sorry. What I'm talking about?
Air it out, Pete.
What do you say about what you about? What you say about Pete? I can't hear you, Pete. What you saying, Pete?
Guys like Shake when I dropped the all 22.
I'm watching. Dude, don't you see me in the comments section?
Click that link
because I'm at work. I'm at work. I'm on. And I ain't commenting.
When I'm showing those passes right?
I mean,
Those
aren't
passes that are hitting the dirt.
hold on, aren't I
You
in the
don't see
comment
those
section?
passes
Yeah,
by
I know.
Skyler. So why don't you
These
call
are
Tua
beautiful
trash?
passes.
Why don't
Is
you?
it,
Yeah,
are they
Tua
beautiful
trash.
I was
passes?
in the
Why
chat.
don't you
I
call
was in the
Tua
chat.
trash? Why don't you call Tua trash? But yet you
know-
call Skyler trash. But we don't
Are,
see
are
the
they
same
beautiful
missed
passes?
Yeah, he is
We don't
trash.
see. Oh, exactly. Say it.
Yeah, exactly.
Say
He's
Tua's
trash.
trash.
Scott Thompson's trash.
Yep. And just like Tua, we don't see them
Yeah, I know,
dumbass
exactly.
inaccurate passes.
And we don't see him on the sideline. So at the end of the day, who cares?
Hey,
We don't
Steve, you
he's not-
see
he's
some of
not
these
active.
touchdown passes
Man,
by Tua?
this
You
is
remember that
wild.
Washington Commanders long touchdown pass to Tyreek
And
Hill?
how about some of the touchdown passes from Skyler? How many did you see in the Jets games? Oh yeah, that was all field goals. All right, my bad.
All right. Well, anyway,
Man,
you guys are making good points, both
the
of you.
Jets.
I
So
appreciate you,
here's
Steve.
the deal. Here's the deal. I want to
Vinny and the Jets.
let's settle down. Let's relax. Take a breath. Breathe.
Yeah, get out your feelings, Pete.
Breathe.
Don't talk about Skyler like that.
Breathe. All right. So let me ask all of you this question. Okay, that's on the panel.
Somebody give Skyler a hug.
What kind of adjustments do you think Mike McDaniel needs to make this year for this team to go forward or even win a playoff game? Are there any adjustments that he needs to make? Because what I've seen in the last 2-3 years is I've seen him sticking with the same game plan, right? So we did draft 2 rookie wide receivers. We acquired a tight end in John O. Smith. We got Odell Beckham. Do you think? Oh, and we also drafted Jalen Wright. So, do you all think that this is a sign that maybe Mike McDaniel, because he has said that he was going to change it up, right? Do you believe him? Do you all believe him, or you think he's going to change it up with the additions of these other players so they can give more options to offense and Tua, or what do you think?
Ooh, I will answer that question.
Go ahead, Crypto.
In theory, I would say none. The only adjustment I would say he should make, because everybody want to say that this is year 3 of the offense and Tua's development, this is year 3. I would like to see him experiment with this by allowing Tua to call his own plays for one half of every single game to see if he really knows and have true command of the offense.
I like that. That's nice.
I like that too, because that's something we haven't seen him do. Well, I'm not going to say we haven't seen him do, because he has made a call here and there. He even said it at the press conference where he said that he made the call, overrid Mike McDaniel's play call when he threw that touchdown. I can't remember which game it was. Remember, he was talking about.
He must have been talking about the Giants game.
Maybe it was the Giants game.
It
Yeah,
was a blown over the top blown coverage and Tyreek went
the Tyreek
70
Hill.
yards.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill.
Coming out of halftime.
Yeah,
that was the game he was talking about.
So he has done that. What I would like to see, and that's
can he do it for the entire half, or perhaps even a whole game? Kind of like how Jim Kelly did back in the no huddle days of the up tempo offense that led them to 4 Super Bowls.
Well, here's the thing, Crypto. You got to take baby steps, right? That's what we learned in the military. Baby steps, right?
You're right, Steve. But some people have already saying he's arrived. I'm ready to prove that he's arrived.
This is my point. Though. What I'm trying to make. Damn. Before we even get him to make go through a half of making any kind of play calls. Damn. Can we get him to make an audible?
Yeah, that might work too.
And that's why I'm thinking Crypto might want Mike McDaniel and Tua gone with that take. He wants more pressure on Tua. I think you want him gone by week 6, Crypto.
No, I don't want him gone by week 6. Everybody like to say that's what he's doing.
One thing I would like Mike McDaniel, and to me,
I hear you, Raphael.
And I heard you name all the guys: John O. Smith, Jalen Wright.
Right.
And to me, to be quite
Odell
honest,
Beckham.
I didn't. Yeah. Can someone explain to me how he misused the guys we had last year? Because Steve, again, I'm gonna explain something to you. We can sit here and call Durham Smythe trash, but I can sit here and put the all 22 and show you how open Durham Smythe was a lot of occasions. Now, a lot of the times, Durham Smythe was wide open, and Tua also threw a completion on that pass. So it's a wash, right? But a lot of the times they were also a bad play. So, I mean, at this point, I'm to the names of the jerseys aren't something that I'm looking at when it comes to this offense, because I got full belief in Mike McDaniel
He say
and his
Wildcat.
scheme.
Yeah, he said
But
Wildcat.
Yeah,
when
Ronnie
you come
Brown
to
called it plays in his own place for whole
Yeah, he
year. So
did.
why can't Tua do it for one half?
Yeah, he
if
called
there's
audibles
something,
too.
but if there's something different, I want Mike McDaniel to implement is actually what California put on the chat when you put it up, right? Remember when he said there's no quarterback that will process a field in under 2 seconds?
Right.
Our offense needs to adjust to that timing. We need because of the weapons we have. Now, if we had the Malcolm Perrys and all these others, then I would understand this quick Brian Flores type, get it out as quick as possible. But we have deadly weapons that the longer the play can last, the deadlier they get. It's easier to cover Tyreek in under 2 seconds than it is over 2 seconds. You see my point? So we're not utilizing the strength. And that's where I feel Mike McDaniel needs to change it. He needs to completely change the offense to a more, basically what I'm about to say is going to make Shake chuckle, but with Skylar Thompson, we went that different direction.
You're right.
It was more traditional drop back.
You're talking about a pro
style drop back,
style.
more leaning more towards a 5-step, right? Not quick 3, more 5, because 5 steps are going to give these guys the routes to get downfield and get open and make bigger plays. And if it's longer, you'll get more people involved, because the deeper Tyreek and Waddle get, the more coverage they get. The open guys like Smythe and Johnny will get.
I don't know, man. I mean,
the offense needs to change.
Here's the thing. Yeah, no, it does. I agree 100%. But this is the deal. How are we going to change the offense up? And we've talked about this many times. The offense is specifically designed to get that ball out quick. Okay. And Anthony brought up the point too, because of the O-line. Okay.
No, it's not because of the O-line.
I think it is.
Name a bad offensive line that had scored 30 rushing touchdowns and had over 1,800 yards rushing. Name a bad offensive line that did that without a mobile quarterback.
Run blocking is totally different than pass blocking.
When you're a dominant rushing team, it makes your pass blocking a lot easier. That's what I'm saying, Steve. Our offensive line, they're all excuses. We had guys rotating in because of injuries, but they did their job, bro. They literally did
their job because the easiest.
How many times was Tua sacked this year?
It's like 29 times. 29 times, I think.
I thought it was
29. That's fairly low a percentage of his peers, ain't it?
Yeah. Let's see. Let me actually see how many times he was sacked this year, or last year. Excuse me. Let's see. Maybe somebody else gets it before me. Let me know.
I don't know. I know I'm wrong for sure, but I don't know why I saw 22 in my head.
No, you may be right. Let's see, man.
22 sacks for the regular season. Are you counting the playoffs?
No, we're just counting the regular season. Let's just count the regular season. Yeah. Let's see.
I think the most in one game was 4.
2023. He was sacked. Yeah, I was right. 29 times. Okay. 29 times. So
that's basically one point something per game, basically.
Yeah.
Which is not terrible when you're talking about
not terrible at all.
Offensive line blocking.
Now he was the least pressured as well. So, but here's the thing with Tua Tagovailoa though, and I agree with Pete. We need to change up the offense and everything.
Thank you.
But with a quarterback like Tua Tagovailoa, the longer he stands back there in the pocket, the worse he gets.
So the system is only beneficial.
Exactly. That's what a lot of people miss. This is what
I'm trying to get to. Real talk. I'm sorry, Steve. This is what I'm trying to get to.
That's
You're
fine.
saying the offense is predicated for whatever, but Tyreek Hill has played multiple systems. He doesn't need this anticipatory. He can run all the systems, just like Jalen Waddle. All these other guys.
I understand.
You get what I'm saying? So it's really just strict down because of Tua. That's where we need to unlock. Can Tua come out and do this in 3 seconds?
I agree. I've said this many times, many times, and I stand by it. We're a quarterback away.
Thank you, Steve.
That's
really exactly what we are, because we can average 28 points per game with this offense.
We're a quarterback away. Yep. And I think we need a quarterback. He doesn't have to be super elite, All we need
Gotcha.
is a quarterback that can get the ball out, right? Read the defense a little bit, and create and off script and just a little more mobile and create off script. That's all we need.
Right.
But
What
you
year?
know what? But you know what? And I'll let you get back to you in a minute here, Crypto. The thing I don't know if you all remember listening to Tom Brady though. He was talking on the quarterbacks, this era of quarterbacks. And what he said was, and it was a great point, a lot of these quarterbacks that are coming out of college now, they're not expected to read defenses. They're not. What they're expected to do is go back. If the first read's not there, second read's gone, right? They need to go off script and create. That's the core. If you look at all the quarterbacks this year, okay, that's basically what they're doing. If they go back, first read's not there, second read breaks down, they're off script and creating and making plays happen. That's just the way it is nowadays.
Well, you know what's funny? You say that, Steve.
Wait a minute. Let Crypto. He was going to make a point, and then we'll get back to you, Pete.
No,
Go ahead.
I was about to ask a quick question about that Rams team with Jared Goff when they went to the Super Bowl before they offense fell to pieces and only scored 2-3 points.
Right.
I think they led the league in total offense that year, if I remember.
Yeah.
That they was number one in offense that year.
Right.
That was the year they scored. They beat the Chiefs
that
in
they
the
lost to
shootout,
the Patriots?
56. Yeah, that was the same year. I think that's the same year they had a shootout with the Chiefs and he scored 56 points and Mahomes had like 52 or something like that. It was a shootout. Both
Yeah,
teams had over
isn't
50
that one of the
points.
greatest? Didn't that just come out recently on the greatest regular season games on NFL Network? Like that was.
I think
one
it
of the top
was.
rated. Yeah, it was like top
Yeah, it
three.
definitely could be. Yeah, and I think that was the Rams year. They led the league in offense. So, what kind of offense did they run? Well, when they had the wide receivers, running backs, it wasn't really built. Yeah, they had him, and then that season, I think they not the next time around they had a drop off when Gurley got hurt, and even when he came back, they didn't do too well. But when they beat the Bengals that year in the Super Bowl with Stafford, but they running game throughout the playoffs wasn't doing too well. They was just second half performances throwing the ball.
Right.
But they had a non-conventional approach too when it came to their offense the year that Jared Goff was with their quarterback.
Right.
You want me to tell you guys something funny right now, Steve?
Go ahead.
When you're out here, when we're watching our team, Tua, we see him pass the ball quick, and we're like, oh, he should have held it. He should have, But when you're watching other teams, you look at them; they have that quick pass there, and as a Dolphin fan, I'm like, man, he should have threw that. He should have threw that. He should have just threw that quick pass. He should have just threw that quick pass. And that's what I always like looking at the Dolphins a lot. And you start looking at these other teams, you start questioning, like, why aren't these quarterbacks making the same decisions as Tua? Because they have the wide open tight end. They have the wide open guy quick off the snap. These quarterbacks don't take that.
They're waiting for the more developed routes down the field.
Thank you, Crypto, because I was going to say that. You know why these quarterbacks don't wait that? Because these quarterbacks think like Dan Marino. They go from high to low. Our offense is from low to high. We pick apart low, bring them down, and then hit them over the top when they play aggressive defense. That's how we've been playing. And we're just that's a boring offense to me. Quick, bring them in, shoot over the top.
I think it's pretty exciting.
I mean,
that's how Tom Brady
it can be. Yeah, you're right. It could be boring until you have an undisciplined defensive coordinator, and then just allow it.
That's how Brady was. That's how I've seen Brady do that all the time.
I hate when they start bringing all these. That's how Brady was.
But a lot of people don't realize that.
Look how Peter's in his feelings. Peter's in his feelings. Look how Peter's wow.
Hold on, Pete.
You're so special, Pete. You're so special. Oh my God, sweetie. Listen, Buttercup. Listen, sweetie. Calm down, sweetie. Honey, calm down, baby. Sweetie. Sweetie pie, calm down, okay? Okay, honey. We need to calm down, okay? We need to use our big boy voices. Calm down, relax, honey.
Don't use Tua's name.
Sweetheart. please calm down, honey. Please calm down.
Use Tom Brady's
Listen,
name
Cupcake.
next to
Cupcake,
Tua.
please calm down, man.
That's all I'm saying.
Eat something.
It sounds
bro.
like
Eat
a
something.
1950s sitcom.
Calm down, sweetie. Calm down.
Here's
Calm
another.
down, honey.
Here's another.
Do this, Steve.
Calm down, honey.
Here's another.
I've heard that. I Love Lucy. I heard that on I Love Lucy. I think
calm down, my little
back.
buttercup.
That's going way back. All right, here's the thing. Here's the thing too.
Oh my God!
Hey guys, hold up. I want to bring this up too because it's a pretty important point, and I want to get your point of view, guys. Everyone's point of view. A lot of folks say that we're similar to the 49ers system, which I agree with a little
Right.
twist.
The 49ers are us on steroids. They're more power.
Yeah,
based.
they're
They're
more
more power.
right,
theirs.
and we're more pass focused, I guess you could say.
Finesse,
But here's the thing. They also don't invest a lot in their offensive line. They don't. And
You mean across the board or just one player?
Across
I think
the board.
Trent Williams is the big star, and then they got a bunch of fill-ins.
Exactly. So they basically don't invest a lot in their offensive line either. Terrell Armstrong is our guy, right? So they don't invest a lot now. We don't even have Connor Williams or Hunt. But the point I'm trying to make is if I can remember, was there's one thing that the San Francisco, of course, they're not as fast as we are. I get it. Although McCaffrey's pretty fast guy, and they got a really good tight end and two really good, wide receivers. But the thing with the San Francisco 49ers is they can play that finesse type game, but there's one thing that Miami cannot do. And they're great with the speed, right? We got all this speed. They're very, finesse type play. They're great at that, right? Against the bad teams. You play against, like you mentioned, Crypto, against good defenses or coordinators, right? You play against good defensive coordinators, and they cut out all that speed that we have on the outside, right? And the running backs, they shut down. They put a heavy box in there. Why? Because they know we don't have a power back. So they put a heavy box in there, right? Then they know we got two speedy wide receivers, right? And they're gonna be physical with them. They're gonna knock them down. They're gonna, push them off their routes or whatnot, right? The thing with our team is we're lacking, and I don't think we even have it this year, right? Physicality. We do not have the physicality. We cannot change our stripes from being finesse to being a physical team when we play against the Bills, when we play against all those physical teams, right? We don't have that physicality. Like the San Francisco 49ers do, or the Kansas City Chiefs. And the thing about it is this year, we're going to be playing a lot of physical teams. A lot of physical teams on both sides of the ball.
Yeah. And I always go back to Lawyer Molloy when he mentioned that. He's like, if you're not a team of physicality, you're not going to win in the playoffs. He said it. He literally said it. If you're a finesse team, you're not winning in the playoffs. You could be flashy in the regular season, but you won't win in the playoffs. And Lawyer Molloy, he's been correct on that for as long as it's been out that he said that.
Maybe we need to practice that too.
Over 10 years. And you know what, Steve? I'm glad you said that because
I agree with
we're probably never going to be that type of physicality team
until we become
CB83 just made a great point. That's exactly right. I think if we can overcome that finesse, and we can be a little more physical, we would be unstoppable, like a San Francisco 49ers. We got to be able to change those stripes.
We need more halfback guys up the middle.
Tell somebody you're going to do something and dare them to stop it. It's kind of like we need our version of the tush push. Well, you knew it was coming. All 11 men, including the people in the stand, was lined up against it, and he still couldn't stop them.
Well, dude, do you remember
they told you what they were going to do, and you still couldn't stop them. We need we need a version of that.
Exactly. Or the 73 Dolphins, Larry Zonka, Mercury Morris, and those guys. Dude, they knew it was coming. Greasy was a decent quarterback. He wasn't an elite quarterback by any means, right? They weren't afraid of Greasy, but they were freaking couldn't stop Larry Zonka. They couldn't
Nope,
stop
him or
Larry
Mercury
Zonka, Murphy
Morris.
Morse, and Jim Kick. Don't forget Jim Kick. They couldn't stop those guys, man. Especially Larry Zonka. Larry Zonka could point to the defensive and say, "I'm going right there, man," and he'd run right over you, bull right over you. We don't have that kind of back. We don't have a Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
We don't have a Larry Zonka, and that's what we're lacking in the backfield.
Well,
Jalen Wright is not going to be that guy. Jalen Wright did not play against a lot of heavy boxes in college. He played against a lot of light boxes. He's a small guy, and he's a one-cut, straight-up runner. That's it.
Yeah, that's why
he's not the solution to our backfield. I'm sorry, he's not.
Yeah.
Sounds like
that's
Kalen
why that's the reason why I think the last duo we had, running back duo, was Ricky and Ronnie. They both were bruisers, man. I mean, can you imagine? You spent like half the drive trying to stop Ricky. Your defense is tired. Now you got to stop Ronnie Brown. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like
exactly. And Ronnie Brown, both of those guys were good at coming out of the backfield and catching passes in space too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's what we're lacking, man. And I know Mike McDaniel likes these fast, speedy backs. Achane is a great back. I'm not a great back. He hasn't proven he's great, but he's a good back. He's decent. He did more than my expectations than I thought, you know. But the problem is with him, he's a small guy, and it goes to show he got hurt last year. Look, I was at training camp over here in Houston when they came to Houston. I stood up next to the guy. I'm 5'8", 194 pounds. He was at that time. He's probably maybe a half-inch taller than I am, but he's a thin guy. He's not a big guy. He's not massive. He's not a big guy. He's a track star, you know. And he's not gonna pound it. You know, he's not gonna pile drive and get you that 1 or 2 yards when there's a heavy box. Why do you think they went to the screen? Why do you think they threw it on 3rd and 1? Because they couldn't run up the middle. They couldn't do it. So that's what we're lacking as far as the physicality, man.
Oh yeah.
But
I think it's
If we rely too much on it too late.
I think Achane is
underrated.
He's what?
He's underrated when you're thinking about his power like that.
No, I agree.
He can break tackles. He can break tackles out in the open space.
We need him to be like Ward Dunn.
We need him to be like a
There
Ward
you go.
Dunn. Yeah.
Yeah, but hey, like I said, you all right, you calm down, Pete. Okay. Anyway, listen, Pete did a film 22, all 22, and the one I think I saw was that Chan he looks for the physical. He looks to pound people. So he's a very physical runner.
Okay, and look where it got him.
Yeah, exactly. But man,
You know,
he's still
he only
but
played
still
11 games.
he's still physical though. You know what I mean? He's not
he's physical, but he's not physical enough to take that pounding. That's what my point.
Durability.
You know,
I get your issue.
Durability. He's not. He is physical. He can break tackles, but can he break tackles when he's going head on?
Yeah.
That's where I was impressed at the most with him though, Steve. When he's like in that, he gets that extra little yard. He gets it. And I don't know if it's his speed that pushes him, or it's just the guy's a little tiny bowling ball.
Yeah.
He could probably be stronger than what he looks. Now his durability.
No, he probably is, no doubt. He's probably stronger than what he looks. But the problem is, and I agree with the last comment. Who made that comment? I forgot who it was. Anyway, I brought up a comment, and he's correct. We were the 7th best running team in football last year. But again, when we played those physical defenses, right, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, we couldn't pile drive it, man. We couldn't. These guys are not built for the cold. They're not built for power backs. They're not power backs. But anyway, guys, I'm going to have to cut it short.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Yeah, man, I got my grandkids.
Appreciate you for letting me up.
And stuff. Absolutely. You guys are welcome anytime. I'll probably have a show here on Tuesday. I have a show every Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time here on the Fence Talk Sports Network. And then Saturdays, I'm testing the waters on Saturdays every day or every Saturday at 1:30. So I don't know if I'll have a show next week, but we'll see. Maybe we'll do another panel show next week. Depends on how this one went. So far, it went pretty well this year, man.
Yeah.
I mean, this week it went good. You know, I
Went
gotta
good.
get you guys back, man. I love the energy that Pete brings. I love the energy that Crypto brings, and
Mhm.
Shake and Color. Color was awfully quiet. He kind of stayed in the background. Love his takes as well.
Color's still here.
Yeah, I'm
he
still
is.
here.
He's still
Appreciate
here.
you, Steve. I just
Hey,
didn't really
listen.
have much else to say. It's kind of,
Yeah, I got
So-
you, man.
getting to be crunch time pretty soon.
So
Yep.
Pete, just know I'm up the road. If you need a hug, man, call me. I'll give you a hug. Okay.
And I'm here for you too, Pete. Don't worry
Always.
about it.
Don't talk about my quarterback.
I got my
Don't
I
talk
got
about
my
mine,
Skylar mug.
I hear you. I hear you.
Pete, I got a Skylar mug, man. I got a Skylar mug, man.
And
gonna
then-
get the
I'm like
Skylar
a souvenir with Skyler. You guys got to understand.
Yeah,
that.
he's they're called Skywalkers.
All
Oh,
right,
that's
mug.
what they're called?
He's
what
a
if-
Skywalker,
Hey,
man.
great show, Steve, man. I appreciate you.
what
Hey, shout
happens
out
if
to
the
Color.
Battlehawks
Um,
call up Skyler, bro?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, so
Shout out to
you
Color
guys,
for
Pete.
sharing your link on Twitter, because that's how I was able to find you guys live. I don't know what's wrong with YouTube. It never shows me nobody.
Raphael,
But
he's on his own.
Okay.
Then Raphael.
So Pete, where
But
can
shout out to
people
Color for
find
that.
you at, man?
Yeah.
Pete, where can people find you at since you're on?
Oh man, you go. I'll be on wherever I get on. I'm there with you guys, and we're here to talk some ball whenever I get a chance.
You got a
But no,
network.
he does have a great film break. It's called Pete's Takes. That's the name of the channel. All you gotta do is look up Pete's Takes,
Mhm.
and he does film breakdown with Crypto and Fred. So
All right,
great
good
stuff.
I've watched them a couple of times. I have watched those
You guys
film
have a
breaks.
blessed day,
Thank
man.
you.
It was
You
good.
too,
talking
man.
I'm gonna give it
Yes,
an
sir, brother.
analysis, man. I
Thanks,
keep the
Pete.
guys in line up there, man.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. You kept them in line a little bit here too, Crypto, so I appreciate it. But where can they find you guys? I guess go ahead, Shake. Where can they find you guys at?
I'm of course the Fins tailgate, and also I do Fanatic Fury with Larry K. And tonight I'm having El Capitan on at 9:30 tonight in the blender,
Mhm.
and I'm doing Insomnia tonight at midnight. So it's a full slated day for me today.
Man, you're a busy guy, man. I appreciate you
Yeah.
coming on. Caller,
Yeah.
where can they find you at, brother? Caller?
Well, tonight that Insomnia episode will be on the Fins tailgate, just to be clear,
Okay.
and I'll probably be joining Shake there tonight. And as far as Pete goes, yeah, that is what happens when you share. So everybody definitely make sure you're sharing this out and hitting the like button,
Appreciate it, man.
because then you'll
Yeah.
get to draw people like Pete here and have a big laugh.
Absolutely. Crypto, I guess you'll be on the show with Shake Money
So,
and Color.
Yeah, I'm the co-host of the show.
Okay.
Insomnia, yeah.
Good deal, man. Good deal. Again, guys, thank you very much for joining me tonight, and everybody in the chat. Appreciate you. As
Can you
you
hear
go
me?
out,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll be on tonight. The tailgate.
Okay, great.
But
But
I'm
anyway,
co-hosting the show tonight.
good stuff. Anyway, thanks anyway, guys, and thanks, guys in the chat again. Make sure you hit that like button as you're going out. If you're new to the channel and you enjoyed the content, go ahead and subscribe and share with your friends, your families, and your neighbors. And I appreciate you for joining. I'm out. God bless.
Miami Dolphin fan, let me ask you something. Do you love the Dolphins? Do you think they are the greatest football team? How about the greatest show on surf? If you answered yes to any or all of these questions, then fins up